Well, this was a crazy good find. I paid 500 bucks for this bike. So this is a 1982 Honda XL500R. And it is really clean for the year. Really no rips in the seat. Gas tank looks nice. It looks to be 100% here, complete. Tires look pretty new. I mean, overall it looks pretty nice. But the seller stated that it had some major issues. So he put this thing away in storage about 6 years ago, he said. And he said he put it in storage because it was having shifting issues. He doesn't really remember what the shifting issues were. All he stated was that second gear was like grinding and didn't sound good. So that's why he parked it, because of the shifting issues. He then stated that the head was cracked. And it looks like it's actually part of the head or the valve cover. I don't know if it's the head or the valve cover or both, but you can see the JB weld on there. I'm hoping it's just a valve cover, because we can just weld that up, but we'll see. But yeah, he hasn't had this thing running in over 6 years, so it's gonna need a full tune-up, probably a carb clean, valve adjustment, and who knows if it even ran 6 years ago. You know, that's what the seller stated. But yeah, today's goal is obviously going to be to get this one up, running, and driving, so then we can test out the shifting issues and see what's going on. I'm really hoping the shifting issue is something simple, like in this clutch side area. I'm really hoping we don't have to tear down the whole thing and fix a transmission issue. And the original mileage is on here. 13,573 miles. The gauge is cracked a little bit. But let's see, yeah, there's no battery in it either. Doesn't turn on. We'll have to take a peek at the gas tank. Let's see if the carb's locked up. No, that's working. All the blinkers are there. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking bike. But let's get this one off the trailer, start digging into it, and hopefully we get lucky on this one. I get a little walk around to this one. So check out the frame paint. I don't think that's ever been touched up. I mean, plastics are pretty good. Not seeing any leaks from the cover here. All the original stickers are on it. You can see right back here, 1982. Yeah, really clean bike for the year. Seat looks really good. So we'll kick this thing over, see what it sounds like, and then we'll start working on it. But at least it kicks over good, nice and smooth. It definitely has compression too. Well, we got this bike in the garage. Let's start taking a look at it. See if we can get this bike running today. So, first thing we're gonna check is the oil. There's no window either. I think this thing has a dipstick, yep. It looks like really fresh oil. Let's see if it was filled up all the way. Yep, perfect. You can see all the way up on the dipstick to the top line. Very, very clear oil. So I'm sure the seller put this thing away with a fresh oil change, possibly. I'm sure he drained the oil thinking there was chunks in the transmission, and then probably saw some chunks and then put it away. Hoping that's not rusty. I have not looked at it yet. Wow. Alright, that's pretty nice in there. That is immaculate. Look at that tank. I don't think I've seen a cleaner tank than that. Wow. Looks brand new. Look at that. That's pretty good. For a 1982 bike, tank is spotless. I don't think there's one speck of rust in that tank. Let's see if we're getting any gas out of the petcock here. So right now it's on reserve. Let's turn this to off. I'm kind of wondering if the seller tried to get this thing to run after taking it out of storage for 6 years. Let's see. Oh, there's gas coming out. Let's see. Oh yeah, shooting out. That looks like brand new gas coming out. Yeah, that looks perfect. So I'm guessing what happened is the seller took this thing out of storage after sitting for 6 years, put some gas in it, tried to get it to fire up, wouldn't fire up, and then he sold it. Because typically if you can sell a bike running, you'll get more money for it. So I'm sure he tried to quick fire it up, and I'm guessing the car was pretty clogged. I saw this little toolkit carrier back here. What are the chances that that is still in here? Let's see. Pretty slim. You guys know I like a good toolkit find. Come on. Oh, what do we have? No, just sunglasses with one lens. Close. I thought that was a toolkit. Seat looks pretty nice. What are we dealing with? So there's a little battery. Is that like a little 6-volt? No, it's 12-volt. There is not electric start on this thing. I wish there was. And then there's a fuse there. And then our air box we can access from the other side. So we can take off the other side cover and get to that. We can check that out. Might get a battery to it. See if the lights work and stuff. But right now all the brakes are working, which is really nice. So if we do get this thing up and running, at least we can attempt to ride it. Alright, let's see what we got. It looks like CDI's up here. Your little flasher relay. Your coil. Looks like all the wires are going to the coil. That looks good. Everything's connected. Then you've got your spark plug right here. So we can go ahead and get that out too. So this thing's been sitting for 6 years in storage. Could be mice in here. We will see. Living in here. Alright. Let's see, it looks like there's just some, I don't know what the heck's going on there. Could probably use an air filter. Huh. Interesting. Doesn't like feel bad, but it looks like it was ripped at one point. So we're just gonna put this back around there. At least it filters some things out of it. Better than nothing. But airbox is really clean in there. No mice living in there, that's good. Put that right back. Let's see if we can get this plug out of here. Feels like it's tight in there, I think. It's on there pretty good. Coming. There we go. Ooh, looks pretty white. So either that's a brand new plug or it's running pretty lean. Look at that. That tip should be nice and brown. Huh. We are going to squirt a little penetrating oil down there. So like I said, it's been sitting for a while. Lube up that piston cylinder. Let's see what we get for spark, if anything. Turn it to on. It's definitely sparking. Looks like really good spark. Well, we have spark. Do we have compression? So this bike is equipped with the automatic decompression release, and then it's got the manual decompression mechanism as well. So we're really not going to get a great reading for the compression. Won't be super accurate, but at least we can see we have something. So these two cables are the decompression mechanism here. So the cable up here goes to the lever here. As you can see, that pulls in as you press that. So as you kick this thing over, you can see the lever right here. It's pulling on that cable, and it's pulling that decompression mechanism and allowing compression to release every time you kick it over. So that's why it's so much easier to start without that. You can hear it click back as you go, a full revolution. See that? And you have to go up for a full revolution on the kickstart for that to activate. Oh, there's some compression there at the bottom. Holy. see what we got. Yeah, we're sitting at like 110. That's pretty good with the decompression mechanism. So, that is almost perfect. Well, we definitely have compression and we have spark. So on to the carb. All right, this carb looks like it's fun to take out. I'm not sure how you get that carb out actually. You must have to drop it down and come through the side. One clamp coming off. Second one's here. Let's see if I can pull this boot off of here. I think I might loosen up that boot a little bit. Come on. Wow. Doesn't want to come out. Come out this way, or we might have to go the other way with it. All right, this piece goes right there, and this piece attaches to that like that, and that was right there blocking that car from coming out. So we took that off, and I finally got that carb to come out. That was a pain in the butt. No wonder the seller didn't want to clean that. This thing actually has an accelerator pump, and you can see the little spray happening. I don't know if you guys can. Try to zoom up in there. See that? It's spraying. So it's getting plenty of gas to the carb. Has to be clogged jets. Gas looks clear. Looks pretty clean in there. Oh yeah, that's spraying. That's the accelerator pump. It's working. Let's get this guy off. That's clear. Looks like we're running a 135 for the main. We'll have to see if that was stock. pin out. Float needle coming out next. Needle looks good. Oh, so this is probably what was clogged. Let's see. We are running a 52 for the Pilot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, she was clogged. So Pilot is pretty heavily clogged. So Pilot's clogged, and then here is the fuel screw here. So it turns out we are one and a quarter. Take that out all the way. A little spring in there, and then there's an O-ring and washer down in there. So that's pretty much it for this carb. Not too bad. And we know that the accelerator pump's working. So we're gonna blow through everything, blow through the jets, get that Pilot jet cleared out, and we should be getting good gas flow to everything then. All right, carb is all cleaned out, ready to go. Now the fun part, getting this thing back in. All right, carburetor's back installed, working good. Let's get everything back on the machine and attempt to fire this thing up. All right, before we attempt to fire this thing up, let's see if the lights work. Quick take this off, hook up a jumper to it, and see if it's worth buying a new battery. A lot of times the bulbs can be burnt out on this. So just to make sure, it is 12 volt. So that's good. All right, let's hook up a jumper to it. Lock this one up. I'll hook our positive up here. Turn our jumper pack to on. Let's see what happens. Neutral light's on right there. Horn doesn't work. Doesn't look like the, oh, there we go. Was working. Blinkers. Oh yeah. Cool. All right, those are working. There, horn kind of works. Bike might need to be running for the headlight to work, I think. So everything else is working though. All right, we're getting spark, good compression. Carburetor's all cleaned out. That Pilot jet's cleared out. There's no reason this bike shouldn't fire up. We're gonna pump the accelerator pump a couple times, put the choke on, give it a couple kicks, see what happens. Choke it. Go. Too close. Ooh. Kick back. There we go. She's a little cold-blooded, but she's idling pretty good now. I had to adjust the throttle just a little bit, but let's see. Oh yeah. Not too bad. I don't hear any knocking. Sounds pretty good. Not too bad here. Well, she runs. No smoke either. That's a miracle. Alright, let's see what's going on with the shifting now. So at least we got to run. That was one part. Now we have to deal with the shifting issue. Alright, let's see what it's doing. We're in neutral right now. Shift down. There's first gear. Feels pretty tight. There's second gear. Feels pretty good. Third gear, fourth gear, okay, that came out like that. What the heck is going on? Why does that have so much play in there? That should not have that much play. Check this out. Something's not right there. Goes through the gear smooth. I don't like how that goes in like that. Look at that. Yeah, that should not be moving that much. Well, we're going to go test drive it and see what happens. It goes through all the gears, but there's a lot of play in the shifter. It should be out to there. So I think when you push in like that, the shift mechanism is away from how it's supposed to be shifting and probably not locking that into place. There could be something wrong with that clutch side. But let's take it for a ride, see what it does. If it's grinding really bad in gear, then it's probably something in the transmission. Well, first ride on this thing actually went pretty well. Starts right up, has tons of power, shifts pretty smooth, you know, accelerates nicely, doesn't bog. But I did notice, however, that shifting from first to second, it sometimes slips and doesn't grab the gear at all. So it's like you're in neutral. Almost like it's a false neutral in second sometimes. And what I'm thinking is happening is the shaft down here isn't locking in place properly within that clutch side cover area, because that is a very excessive amount of play. I feel like that's a lot. It should only have like a little bit. It shouldn't move that much. So what I think is happening is you shift it into first, then this slides that way, and then you shift into second, and it's not doing it. Or it's slipping out of gear, you know? And I think it's due to that excessive play in the shaft there. So I don't know if we're missing a washer, or part of the case is broken off, where it butts up to that shaft in here. But something's not right. So we're gonna drain the oil and take off that case cover and see what's going on. The other issue we had was the smoking from the pipe here, and you can see all the oil dripping. Yeah, lots of oil dripping. And it looks like it's coming out of, let's see, I'm guessing that JB Weld area right here. So, let's see if it's dripping anywhere out of there. It could be from the valve cover gasket too. It almost looks like it's from the gasket maker down below here. But we're gonna take that off too and see if we can figure that out. I see more oil over here too. It looks like it's coming from the valve caps. Valve cover caps. Yeah, this whole cover probably needs to come off. Coming over to the left of the bike, drain bolt is right there. Yeah, that's pretty warm. Let that drain out. We'll inspect the oil too for any types of chunks. You never know. Alright, I don't see any chunks. That's a good sign, so hopefully that means it's not the transmission. Hopefully just something with the shifter here. Alright, so I was looking at the diagram for this bike, and it actually looks like you can get to the shifting star and everything from the left side of the bike. So covers have to come off, shift lever has to come off. I think we can access everything from down here. Start with this cover here. So you can see the play in there. Don't think it should be that much. Looks like an oil check bolt there. Might take off the foot peg as well. Off quick. Couple whacks. See the oil starting to pour out. Let's really loosen that up. Let's see what's going on here. Alright. We got the gasket off in one piece. That's amazing. Alright, so there is a washer there. It was on there like that. Alright. This comes off. What happens when you shift it? And this was coming in and out. So I wonder why that was doing that. Something's gotta be messed up in here. This whole thing can come off of here. Huh. There's a washer behind here. Let's leave that in there. So why did it have so much play? There's not a ton of play in that. In the shift star. So we must be missing, a part. That goes into there. All right, diagram checked out, everything looked good. And then I looked right here. You can see the circlip is supposed to ride in this groove right here. It's riding way back here. So that circlip came off from its position. You can see the other one's riding there. That one's correct, but that one is not. And that's why the shaft is pushing in further into the case, because that circlip isn't on there. So that circlip then gets butted up against a washer right in the case back there. You can see the washer right back there. So right now, you can push this in way further than what it should. And that's why I can pull and push in further. So I wonder if it might even be hitting part of the transmission when you push that shaft in all the way. But we are going to put that clip where it's supposed to go and see if that fixes our issue. See, it's just riding way up like that. Correct spot, it might be really worn out. We might have to get a new one. But that's supposed to ride right in there like that. So that just got worn out over time, I think. Let's see if I have a new clip. I might. Alright, so now that clip is in the right position. And when you push on it with the washer, it doesn't move. See that? So that should fix our problem, I would think. So let's try reinstalling everything and see if that one clip was causing all the issues with the shifting. Alright, we got this reinstalled. Now you can see the washer there sits flush with the case. See that? So when this piece butts up to it, it'll make that nice and tight, that shaft nice and tight. Before that was sitting way back in the case because that shaft could push all the way through. Got everything back together and now there's the play. Before this was going all the way underneath this bolt. So that's normal play right there. That was going in really far before. So hopefully that fixes our problem. At least we fixed something in there, because that shaft was really, really loose. All right, let's get this oil back in. Oil pretty much looked brand new, so we're just gonna reuse it, because we might have to tear this whole thing down if it still has shifting issues. But I'm really hoping that was a fix. That would be great. I cannot believe that fixed the shifting issue. No longer misses second gear. That is awesome. So it was that little clip, that little C-clip that was on that shaft causing all the issues. So yeah, it's still working. So that's why it wasn't shifting into second sometimes. Crazy. So we just got a really good deal on this bike. I thought for sure it was going to need a full engine teardown, but we got lucky. So now I want to check out the oil leak. This is really the last real problem. There's an oil leak at the head. Either it's the valve cover or the head, and there is JB Weld right there. So I think what we're gonna do is scrape that off and just see what's underneath. Let's get this plug wire out of the way. So there's the JB Weld. If it's on the head, we're gonna have some bigger issues. I'm really hoping it's just the valve cover. I don't know. There's a lot of it. Not seeing a crack anywhere. What the heck? You guys see anything? Oh, I think it's a valve cover. I don't really see a crack anywhere on it though. Huh. Do you guys see a crack? I'm not seeing one. Why was that JB welded right there? What the heck? Get some brake cleaners in there. Yeah, I don't see a crack. Zoom really far in. You guys see anything? There's not a crack on there. We might just get really lucky with this bike. But I have not seen any type of crack there. So maybe, is what I'm thinking, is that they didn't put a lot of gasket maker on that surface and then oil was leaking through here. Because it's leaking out over here as well. So the gasket maker they used probably wasn't sealing properly. So I think what we're gonna do is just take off the valve cover, peel off all that old gasket material, and then hopefully we can get this valve cover off and then put new gasket material on there. These come off. Our decompression mechanism can come out. We can at least just let that dangle here for a bit. There's our mount that can come off. All right, so we're gonna try to get the cover off without doing anything to the engine. If we can't get it off, what we might do is take the mounts off the front and then the bolt off the rear and try to tip the engine forward. And it might give you enough room to get that cover off. Strip these out. Alright, let's see if she can come off. I doubt it. Oh, it's close. I took a pin with it. You can see. Still a bolt in there, I think. Oh, she doesn't want to come, it doesn't look like. Instead of dropping the whole engine to do this job, we're just spraying some brake cleaner in here. And cleaning each surface here. It doesn't look like there's any gasket maker on there whatsoever. And then we're just going to put some gasket maker around here and close her back up. Because it wasn't that big of a leak. I think there's just not gasket maker or just burned out of here. Because there's nothing on here at all. Nothing on the other side. So somebody must not have remembered to put gasket maker back on it. Or not enough, or not the right kind. Went around the whole surface with brake cleaner. Every surface is now clean. So we're just gonna take some of this. This is really good gasket maker. This is resistant to oil and gas. So we shouldn't have any leaking with this stuff. Put a little bit in there. You put this guy on like that, a little bit on the top of that. You don't want any leaking from anywhere on here. And we should be good. Alright, new gasket maker on there. We're gonna let that dry for a bit and then clean that up. And we'll see if it leaks. Alright, we let this bike sit for a couple hours with the gasket maker drying. Let's see if it still leaks. Over here. Headlight's working. So far it's dry. Burning off that old oil that was on there. Yeah. Well, we'll let this run for a bit and then we'll come back and see if it's wet at all. Alright, we let this run for about 10 minutes. Looking around the gasket here. It's all dry over there. This is the spot it was leaking. Let's see if it's dry. Yeah. Not a single drop of oil anywhere on there. Cool. So this one is completely fixed up now. Well, I gotta say we got really lucky on this one. So the JB weld turned out to be nothing. I thought for sure there was a crack in the valve cover of the head. There was nothing underneath the JB weld. I'm thinking he put that there just because the gasket maker was thin in that area and oil was leaking. So no problem with that. And then the shifting problem that we had that I thought was gonna be a huge issue was just something simple. The C-clip came off and that shift shaft was able to push all the way through, and that's why it wasn't shifting into second gear. So what I thought were pretty major issues turned out to be pretty simple solutions. So this one turned out to be a really, really nice bike. To get this thing for $500, get it up, running and driving in one day is awesome. I mean, I was not expecting that. So we have a good running, driving bike now. So that didn't take too long. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, picking up the 1982 Honda XL500R, diagnosing it, getting it to run, and then taking it for the first ride today. So another bike to add to the collection. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for next video. And until next time, we are out.